We've got games, and more games. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, November 1st, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. The big thing happening this week was Veilguard has launched. Dragon Age Veilguard, Dragon Age 4. Like I said, I don't know much about the lore of Dragon Age, but this is actually the fifth Dragon Age title, so I guess I can't even call that. But yeah, it's so far it's been reviewing pretty well. It's got an 84 Metacritic, and with most Dragon Age games, there's lots of guides that I've saw this week, like all the different complicated things. There's lots of relationships to manage, and like I said, the first trailer looked really, or the launch trailer looked really interesting to me. So it is something that I'm looking forward to picking up eventually, but I probably won't pick it up, fresh out of the launch. But yeah, with an 84 Metacritic, I assume a lot of people are enjoying their playthrough of Veilguard, even if it is only starting as of yesterday. But yeah, let me know down below if you've picked up Veilguard and what you're thinking of it so far. Another game that launched this week that I am excited about, Life is Strange Double Exposure. So this is the Life is Strange game that actually brings back Max, which is the protagonist of the first one. It is currently sitting at a 73 Metacritic. It seems like some people are kind of viewing this like an unnecessary sequel. I just want to live in that world, so I don't know that. I know the sequelitis can set in for a lot of games, and this now represents like a half dozen or so Life is Strange games, but I hold a lot of nostalgia for the first one. As like I've said before, it is the game that made me want to get into streaming and playing through games with people watching, so making decisions. So I've always liked the narrative approach. I enjoy that Max is back, and yeah, I am very interested in picking this one up and playing through it. So rather than jumping into a meaty 100-hour RPG like Veilguard, I am more likely to pick up Life is Strange. So I think that's contributing factor to its 73 Metacritic, but also 73 Metacritic isn't a death knell for a game or anything like that. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm more likely to pick that one up than I am Veilguard. I still have to work my way through Metaphor, so I am definitely behind. But moving right along, Call of Duty also launched last week. And I find it interesting that they are doing an announced trailer for Nuketown. That's the thing that actually gets a lot of people excited, and it gets me excited. It's one of the classic small time maps where it's just a bunch of, it's a hail of bullets in a small map. It's a lot of fun. But I just think it seems a little odd to me to like wait a week and then announce Nuketown and then bring it in. It's like, why wasn't there for launch? How long until people actually get Nuketown? Yeah, I'm very curious what is going on there. Is there a desperate play? But I've also seen like it's the biggest COD that's in the last several years, which isn't, well, it just is saying something compared to other games, but isn't saying much compared to like previous COD titles. So yeah, I bet the player count is growing as it is on Game Pass. So I bet that actually, I'm curious, that'll definitely affect sales. So yeah, I'm curious how Game Pass is kind of affecting the overall, and if we'll start talking about player count rather than kind of sales like we do typically with Call of Duty. Moving right along, Bungie has finally opened up and started talking about their next game, Marathon, which we've known about for a couple years now, but haven't heard too much on. There was a 10-minute dev diary that released this week talking about how it's an extraction shooter and all the other some different mechanics of the game, but there was no gameplay. It was just a person talking for 10 minutes about what to expect for Bungie's latest extraction shooter. I think they've got an uphill battle as far as that category of game is both saturated as well as like hard to enter and like siphon people off of other games that they like within the genre. So I do think they have an uphill battle, but Bungie had, like I've always said about Destiny, like the best part of it is just shooting things feels really good. So if there's any learnings they can take from Destiny and apply to the shooting and how it feels in Marathon, then I do think they have a good chance of making a dent and siphoning off players from all their other extraction shooters. So I am slightly hopeful on Marathon. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Nintendo has taken all of the music from all their classic games that don't exist anywhere else on any other platform, and they put it on a special app that can only be accessed by Nintendo Online subscribers, which sucks for everyone else. But if you are a subscriber for Nintendo Online, you can get all of those member berries and nostalgia of all the classic Nintendo soundtracks via their app. So yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. You know, I think I and probably other people would prefer like a Spotify. Like if they could just given the whole catalog to Spotify, but that's not how Nintendo wants to do it. So we have to do it via Nintendo Online. I'm glad that the official soundtracks exist for people to listen to online, you know, wherever they are. But seems a little money grabby to kind of put it behind their paywall. So, but Nintendo will always kind of make a buck off of our nostalgia, and that's just kind of what we accept for liking Nintendo stuff. So, yeah, just thought that was interesting this week, and looking forward to listening to some classic, Nintendo music while I play other Nintendo games. There's a big first party buy one get one sale going on across Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation, and includes some pretty big games. Like I saw Metaphor and Space Marine, which all recently released, a month ago, and they were already like buy one get one. So pretty big sale. You can get lots of really cool games. I know that people are probably saving up money to get into the Black Friday sales that are starting up soon. But interesting to see, how recently released titles are already getting thrown into these buy one get one sales. So interesting to see that. Let me know if you pick up anything. I'll have a link down below for you to check that out. The Monster Hunter Wilds open beta was this weekend. I think it started early on PlayStation, as in like it launched on Tuesday, and then I think everyone else on PC and Xbox could play it as of today or yesterday, and they get it for the rest of the weekend. So I know a lot of people are jumping in to see what's new, what's exciting within the Monster Hunter Wilds. I know a lot of my friends are very excited for it. I'm curious how crossplay is going to work and if that's something that they're exploring within the open beta. And yeah, I'm very curious kind of what the new monsters are. As with every Monster Hunter game, what are the new monsters? How can we defeat them? What are the strategies to employ and all the different weapon types? So yeah, I'm excited for Monster Hunter Wilds. I don't think I will personally be hopping in on the beta. I kind of want to go in a little bit fresh into when it launches in February, but I know that a lot of people are excited, and the concurrent player count is already very high for the weekend. So if you're looking for something to play this weekend and you enjoyed Monster Hunter Worlds, get ready for the sequel. 4X games seem to are always pretty cool, based on like Civilization and stuff like that, which kind of define the genre. But it hits a little differently when it's cowboys. Can you say Manifest Destiny much? There's a new 4X game called Cold Ridge, and then it has you setting up as a cowboy, which kind of feels the Western frontier and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it just feels a little weird when it's like a cowboy exploring the area and doing all sorts of, frontier Manifest Destiny stuff. So I thought that was interesting, and, I'm excited for more 4X games. But yeah, it just hits a little differently when it's cowboys. So I'll be curious to see how what that looks like as we get closer to launch. But saw that this week and wanted to talk about it. Another game launching this week was Redacted. That is, I'm not forbidden to say the title, but that is actually the title of the game. It's called Redacted. It is a twin stick shooter, bullet hell, which I think is somewhat redundant, with some recursive elements. And it's coming from Striking Distance Studios, which is the company or the developers behind Callisto Protocol. Excited to see that it launched this week. And yeah, so there's some recursive elements that we've seen in a couple of the trailers. How like when you die, the bad guy will hold on to your loot, I guess, and then they'll get a name, and it feels a little Nemesis system-y to me. So yeah, I'm excited to see kind of what that would look like and how people enjoy Redacted. Last but not least, Outlast, which seems like the most movie friendly IP out there, is getting turned into a movie, which I thought was pretty cool. So they talked about articles this week talked about how Red Barrel, which is the company behind Outlast, is partnering up and to make a movie, which is very interesting. So if you haven't played the Outlast series, a significant portion of the first one you just play looking through a you're playing a horror game and you're looking through the lens of a portable camera, and so it'd be interesting to see how that kind of gets adapted and whether and how much homage they played to it in making a movie with a camera about a game where you play using a movie camera to and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if it's I wonder how many layers down it'll go and how interesting it'll be and how do they incorporate that when they're making an Outlast movie. So excited to see that is coming to theaters near me sometime soon. But that's it for this week. Let me know if you feel I forgot anything down below in the comments. But as always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this content. If you do, any form of engagement is great and I appreciate it. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye.